If you're not happy with your life, listen up, because I'm going to share 11 thoughts that are holding you back right now from living your dream life. Hello, I'm Suhaiti and welcome to Your Self-Love Advocate, where I share self-love, self-concept, tips, and advice to help you shift your mindset so you can create the most amazing life. Now, let's get to these thoughts right now. So the first thought that you might have is that you do not think it is possible. You don't think it's possible to have your dream job, your dream career, or maybe even your dream relationship. Thinking that it is not possible creates a reality, a life where things feel impossible. So then you start living life and interacting with people and situations from a place of lack and impossibility. So instead of saying, I don't think it's possible for me to have, enter what you desire, say, everything is possible for me. I can and I will. Sometimes what holds us back from living our dream life is directly thought to our self-concept. So self-concept is something that I am very passionate about because I struggled and had a very poor low self-concept, which is basically an identity of yourself. Who you think you are, who you say you are, is basically how you show up in the world. I used to show up as someone that was, very boisterous and talkative and passionate, but there was also another side of me that I didn't like. I had a belief in myself that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't valuable, that I wasn't worthy, that I wasn't seen and heard, and in relationships specifically, that I wasn't lovable and I would never be able to find a long-term relationship that was fulfilling. I had a lack mentality when it came to love and money, and I also had this identity, this self-concept that men would always leave me. So what did that self-concept that I carried create in my reality? I often struggled with romantic relationships and created a lot of hot and cold behavior. I had a lot of men that I was involved with. Well, not a lot, but in most of my relationships, there was a lot of fears of abandonment that I carried into that relationship. And also when it came to money, I struggled financially for a really long time because I had I'm broke, I'm always struggling mindset when it came to money, and I identified myself as someone who was not abundant. Now, self-love and self-concept are two different things, even though they do intertwine sometimes, because yes, saying I am valuable, I am beautiful, I am enough is you loving yourself, but it's also how you identify yourself. So I can say I am lovable, I am enough, but then self-concept is I am an amazing girlfriend and I'm in an amazing relationship with the person that I'm with, right? So there is a slight difference. However, no matter what you call it, self-concept is essential to live your dream life. If you find yourself struggling with self-concept, I do have a free self-concept affirmations guide. It is in the description box and it is also pinned in the comments. Check it out, it's free. The other thought you might have is just fears. You think that change is scary, and yes, change can be frightening, but if you really believe that taking a leap of faith and taking a risk and just doing something different is scary, it is going to hold you back. What is it that they say? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. You have to change, you have to shift mentally, with your mindset, emotionally, with your self-concept in order to see real change and live your best life. If you are stuck on the past and you keep replaying on loop in your mind all the time, what happened, that he did that she did that my job, that I'm broke, that my parents, you're stuck. And being stuck and repeating thoughts from your past, constantly thinking about your past, it is not going to help you move forward and create an amazing life. Because what happens when we replay the past in our minds is that we start creating a version of ourselves that is continuously repeating the past. Our past mistakes, our past thoughts, our past fears literally are in the present day moment in every interaction. So please, if you are a person that's still rehashing a relationship with girlfriends, which, listen, I'm guilty, we all do this, or you continue to worry about money just like you always have, or you're always constantly talking about how your parents did this, or you had a rough upbringing, do not allow your past to define your present, because what you define yourself as in the present and the stories you tell yourself and others and you think in the present will shape your future. Speaking of stories, the stories you tell yourself about yourself and your circumstance, whether that's love or money or family or relationships, actually impacts your present and what holds you back. If you're telling yourself stories like, oh, I'm not good enough, which I can attest that definitely creates situations in your reality, circumstances and relationships in work and in love where you feel unworthy. I'm always in terrible relationships is something that I feel like a lot of people say, or all men are dogs, all women are gold diggers, you get the drift. This is one that I always used to say that maybe you can relate to. Why does this enter everything that I think that is a pattern happen to me all the time? Why does this always happen to me? If you are saying, and you have a story, a narrative that something is constantly happening and that thing is not a good thing, like you're always broken up with, you're always cheated on, you're always fired, you always feel like you don't measure up, people always stand you up, men always ghost you, you're going to continue to have that experience because you are literally telling yourself, remember the thoughts, our thoughts are so powerful. You're constantly telling yourself that you are that person if you say this always happens to me. Why does this always happen to me, okay? Also, I will never find an amazing job. I will always be broke. I will never have enough money. I'm so unlucky. No one respects me. All men are dogs. I already said that. Things never work out for me. I never get what I want. I never get what I want. Those things. Oh, last one. I always have to wait for the things that I want. I always have to wait. I never get what I want when I want it. I always have to wait. I used to say that to myself all the time. So saying those things again creates the narrative, creates those stories that keep you stuck. So you have to really watch not only the things that you say, but the thoughts that you think when you're interacting with the world, when you're interacting every day with your reality. So instead of saying all these things, why don't you say, and I'm going to read this because I wrote it down on my blog, yourselfloveadvocate.com, so check it out. Money doesn't grow on trees, right? That's what you say. Instead of saying that, say money grows on trees. My family are immigrants, so I can never be successful. I am always successful. You hear this a lot. Marriage is hard work. My marriage is so easy. I don't know what they're talking about. Life is so hard for people like us. Life is always easy for me. I always have to work hard to make money. Nope, not me. I make money so easy. Sacrifice is being part of a woman. I can actually have it all. I don't have to sacrifice a damn thing if I don't want to. So you see how I'm flipping those things? That's what you need to do when you start thinking the same consistent negative thoughts of woe is me, why is my life so hard, why don't I have this? You have it all. If you think you have it all, eventually you will. You may also hold yourself back from your dream life because you don't think you're ready for it. And how can someone not want the things that they want right now? Oftentimes we're told you have to be perfect, you have to be developed personally, you have to go to therapy, you have to seek help, you have to work on yourself. And yes, as a believer and a proponent of self-love, self-concept and personal development and therapy, because I've done it all, I do believe that it is easier to create a life that you want, to have the things that you want and maintain it, if you do have a positive self-concept, if you do love yourself and know your worth, and if you do believe that you deserve everything you want. And oftentimes those things come with inner work, inner child healing, shadow work, or sometimes just reading a book or journaling, and getting in touch with your feminine and masculine energy and really deciding, you know what, I'm going to be joyful today and I'm going to do these things to help me be joyful today, okay? But there is no need to do anything to get what you want and have the amazing life. You just really have to believe that you can have it. And yes, again, if you feel scared, work on that. Work on that by affirming, I'm not scared of anything. Or if that's too hard for you, it's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. It's going to be okay. That's a start. That's a start to stop holding yourself back because you're not ready. And again, If you want any type of help, get those self-concept affirmations, get that guide from me for free in the link in the description or in the pinned comments. Settling for less is easier is the next thought that might be running through your mind when you think about your dream life and you're like, I don't know if I can have it. Yes, sometimes settling for less is easier because it's there. Being complacent and deciding, well, at least I have a job. Well, he's nice enough. Yeah, it's easier, but does it fulfill you? Does it fill you with joy? Are you happy when you settle for less? No. What is it that they say oftentimes when they think, people when they're on their deathbed, not to get morbid, they always have regrets. It's not like you're not gonna have a regret if you don't settle for less, right? I feel like shoulda, woulda, coulda is kind of part of the human experience. However, you don't want to look at your life and say shoulda, woulda, coulda with every aspect of your life, because you decided that settling for less was easier than actually desiring your desires and not giving up on them no matter what life throws at you. For example, when I started my career as a writer, I said I'm going to be the Latina Carrie Bradshaw. I was obsessed with Sex and the City at the time. I'm still obsessed with them just like that, but I was obsessed with Sex and the City at the time, and I always was a writer, right? Even though I didn't share my writing, I've been writing since I was 12 years old. I tried to write a book at 12 years old. Like, I've always loved reading and writing. But I was very scared of branching out and doing something different because no one in my family, I'm Dominican from immigrant family. My parents migrated from Dominican Republic and I was born and raised in New York City. So I was very scared to venture out and to say, you know what, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do something very unconventional. So what did I do? Even though I said I really want to be the Latina Carrie Bradshaw, I want to write about my relationships, I want to have a relationship column and be like the first Latina talking about these things. At the time I was. I decided to become a teacher because it was easier, because I'm good with kids, and teaching is not easy. Kudos and shout out to all the teachers watching. Teaching is a very difficult and demanding career. But in my mind, I always worked with kids and it was like the logical next step, even though it wasn't my passion. Fast forward 4 years and I said, you know what? I think I'm just gonna take a writing course. In my mind, I still kept saying, I really want to be the Latina Carrie Bradshaw. I really want this to happen. And a friend of mine, Bridge of Incidents, if you're into Law of Assumption, what we'll talk about a little bit in this channel, ended up giving me a booklet, a little for a new school, Gotham's Writers Workshop, that was opening up in New York City that had writing classes. No credit, just something to do. She said, you should take a class on writing. I said, okay, I'll take a journalism class. I took it, would go there every Saturday. It was about 8 weeks. Fast forward a couple of months and I decided I'm gonna go get my master's in writing. And in that program, I started a blog. And this is all a bridge, all part of the unfolding of me having the career that I had as the Latina Carrie Bradshaw. The first article that I wrote for Gotham's Writers Workshop was for my dream magazine. That was the assignment. Write a first article for your dream magazine. I decided my dream magazine was Latina Magazine. I always wanted to write for Latina Magazine. Fast forward, when I am in grad school, I start a relationship blog. I am the Latina Carrie Bradshaw, so I'm acting like the Latina Carrie Bradshaw. I start sharing these blogs. An editor gets it. They offer me a columnist position. It wasn't Latina Magazine, but I was the Latina Carrie Bradshaw. Fast forward a year and a half later, and I had a dating blog for Latina Magazine as the Latina Carrie Bradshaw. And it all started because I believed in myself. I affirmed it, not nonstop, but I still had that faith. And I did not settle for less because it was easier. Because I could have stayed at that teaching job. I could have retired from teaching, had a good pension, and I didn't take the easy way out. I decided to continue to pursue and decide that this is what I wanted no matter what. And you can too. Are you being dishonest with yourself? Are you lying to yourself about what you want? This can be a thought that holds you back for your dream life. It is very easy, again, to take the easy way out and decide, you know what, I'm okay. I don't need that dream relationship. I don't need that dream job. I'm fine in this apartment. I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. You have to be honest with yourself. When you're honest with yourself about what you desire, you can actually go after it. You can create a plan of action in the 3D, and you could also start affirming for the things that you want. So just be honest about the life that you want to live. I can't. Stop saying I can't. Stop thinking that you can't. If If you're constantly thinking that you can't or something is hard, you're going to feel that something is hard. You're going to continue to create situations and encounter situations where things are hard, where you can't, where you're always going to hit a wall. So stop thinking that you can't and start thinking that you can. You have a giving up mentality. What is a giving up mentality? It's someone that quits anything that's too hard because you can't. Someone that gives up and settles because you're afraid of change or afraid of what's on the other side. Giving up anytime you hit a wall, anytime there's a block, anytime there's an obstacle to the desire that you want, is not going to get you your dream life. And I'm telling you this because although I was and I fulfilled the desire of being a Latina chiropractor, I had that career for many, many years until I decided to transition because I shifted my self-concept. I no longer connected to the woman, the old version of myself that was sharing her relationships and being very, very open and transparent about those stories. I wanted to become a more private person once I had my son and was engaged to my then fiance. However, I did have, in many circumstances, a bad habit of quitting because I was so afraid to push through. I quit some relationships because I wasn't getting what I wanted, and I, instead of kind of giving it time or manifesting it or affirming for it, I would be like, I'm not wasting my time anymore. And those relationships were good relationships. I've quit very amazing work experiences because I had a self-concept of everyone's out to get me at one point. I had a chip on my shoulder, and I also did not, again, self-love, see myself as someone that was valuable and worthy, and that was really an integral part of an organization. I also had a giving up mentality when it came to entrepreneurship. I convinced myself, because culturally, societally, everyone said, well, being an entrepreneur is hard. Being a creative entrepreneur, especially because that's what I am, is hard. You're not gonna make money as a writer. You're not gonna make money as a YouTuber. You're not gonna make money just being yourself. You have to have a plan. You have to have a marketing strategy. You have to have a marketing funnel, etc., etc. So for a long time, I would start projects and give up on them because I didn't see fast results. And those old stories of society, of people, of what people thought would infiltrate my thoughts. And then I would see my reality and be like, yeah, they're right. I have to quit. So when it gets hard, don't give up. When it seems impossible, don't give up. If you really want it, that dream life, whatever that it looks like for you, you can have it, and you will. You have fixed, stubborn thoughts, impenetrable, this is what it is, laser focused, but not in a good way. Because it's a good way of being laser focused. Like when you want something, I'm gonna have it, amazing. But sometimes that fixed mindset can hinder us from living our dream life because we don't allow things to unfold in a very natural way. We try to control everything, and I can be a little controlling. Even though I'm working on that with my self-concept, I am flowing. I'm always in the present moment. I'm working actively, not working because it's not hard, but I am constantly reminding myself, just stay in the present moment. Just flow. You're going to have all your desires. Everything is part of the unfolding, and you don't have to control how your desire, work, relationships, money. You don't have to control how it happens. So being fixed, and it means that you're narrow-minded, right? It means that you can't imagine something happening because that's not possible. Because it didn't happen for her. It's never happened for anyone that I know. So why would it happen for me, right? That's the one thing that needs to shift quickly. Just being open, having thoughts of openness, and being like, you know what, this is possible. I'm not gonna let my own mind limit me, because I'm being too stubborn and burying my head in the sand because I don't see that it's different. Like I'm so focused on what I see in my life, it cannot change. Anything can change. like this. And of course, one of the most common thoughts that hold us back is when you have thoughts that are just excuses. But I can't sue Haiti. I don't know how to do that. My parents, my friends, my partner, no one's supportive. I'm so tired, which as a mom, I can sometimes say a little bit too much. I try to hone that in. It's too late now. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm 45 talking to you all about this now. Starting a new YouTube channel at 45. I do have other YouTube channels that are successful, but this is a brand new YouTube channel I am launching. At 45, it's never too late. I don't have enough time. Again, I'm a single mom. I have 2 other YouTube channels, including this. I have a full-on blog. I'm an author, and I have a business, a writing business with my friend, writing romance novels. And I have a full-time job. Not for long, because I'm so rich and famous that I don't have to work for anyone else ever again. That's how you affirm, baby. And 2 other ones that I'm sure you say or you hear all the time. The kids won't let me. My husband won't let me. My whatever won't let me. My circumstance doesn't let me. And of course, I don't have the money, honey. These excuses, of course, are going to keep you stuck and are going to keep you in a very comfortable kind of mode of, so I want to start this business, and then you just run the excuses in your mind. So I wanna meet someone new, and you're gonna run the excuses in your mind. It keeps you from taking action, and it also keeps you in a very much lack mentality. So instead of the excuses, find one affirmation that you can say whenever it pops up. So let's say you have an excuse of, I don't have time. You can just say, nope, that's not who I am anymore. I always have time. Oh my God, I don't have any support. I don't have any money. I don't even know where to start. Nope, that's not who I am anymore. I have all the resources at my disposal. I know exactly what I'm doing. My kids just won't let me. I just don't have the time. I'm so busy. I have so much going on. Nope, that's not who I am anymore. I have so much time in my hands. Like, my kids are so easy. My life is so easy. And I am such an amazing multitasker and so efficient that I can do everything and anything that I want, always. See what I did there? So just say that's not who I am anymore. That is the old version of you. You can have anything you want. You can live your dream life if you choose to. That is it. That is it. My first vlog. I'm so excited. Make sure to subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. Liking it is free and it really helps get this brand new channel out into the YouTuberse, okay? Stick around for more self-love, self-concept, and mindset videos. And make sure to go to yourselfloveadvocate.com to get that free self-concept affirmation guide and so much more content to help you live your best life. We're gonna talk law of assumption. We're gonna do all the things here. I'm so excited for this channel. Again, subscribe and I will see you next time.